Welcome back, YouTubers. I am Jason Worstman. This is the best damn fantasy football channel on YouTube. This is Tankers Fantasy Football, and I got another great episode for you today, talking about some stardom sit-ems at the running back, wide receiver, quarterback, and tight end positions, getting to some good matchups and bad matchups for your teams moving forward in Week 5. We're going to start it off with some running backs, but before we do, you know I just got to kick that intro.
Whatever happened to predictability? The milkman, the paperboy, the evening TV. Everywhere you look, there's a heart.
All right, we're going to go running backs, lead it off with some TJ Yeldon. Leonard Fournette came back in Week 4, aggravated that hamstring real early in that game. Who knows how long he's going to be out? Could be 4 or 5 weeks. Who knows? But moving forward, TJ Yeldon's going against the Chiefs this week. We're giving up the second most yards to running backs, second most scrimmage yards to running backs. So all in on the TJ Yeldon flex play with some running back to upside. All right, so we got some Hines, we got some Nyheim Hines going on for the Colts on Thursday night. I think this is a good game for the Hines. He went out there and got it sexy for you in Week 4. I think that is going to continue with no Jack Doyle, no T.Y. Hilton now, and no Marlon Mack in the backfield. I think game script's going to make the Colts huck it, chuck it football like they did last week. I think this is all in. Back in RB2 production for Hines this week. We got some Alex Collins and some Buck Allen. Browns are going with the 5th most yards and 5th most points. 2 opposing running backs, so all in on the Ravens running backs this week. And we got a make or break situation going on right now with Derrick Henry playing the Bills. I think Dion Lewis is a solid back end RB2 / flex play for your lineups this week versus Buffalo. Derrick Henry is a make or break. I think if you're in desperate need for a flex, I think run him out there. But if he doesn't do it for you this week against the Buffalo Bills, I think it's in redraft. I think he's cuttable. I mean, if he can't do it out there versus the fucking Bills, I think he's cuttable. I don't know what we're going to do about it out there. All right, we got some Chris Thompson. I'm talking Monday Night Football down in New Orleans. New Orleans have been stout against the run up the middle. So downgrade Adrian Peterson out there. He'll be in the running back sits. But Chris Thompson should just be game script eating out there in this game. Should get it back in that ass after a letdown Week 3 and then into the bye Week 4 for him. Got some Royce Freeman. It was kind of been touchdown dependent out there, but my fuck did he look good against those Chiefs. On that touchdown run, that was the definition of patience, vision, balance, and power on that touchdown run. I mean, my goodness, could he have looked any sexier? They just need to get Devontae fucking Booker. Come on, Vance Joseph. Get Devontae fucking Booker out of your fucking mind, man. You got to put the fucking tinfoil helmet on if you have to get Devontae Booker out of your mind. But there is no reason moving forward that the running back share should be Freeman and Lindsey. I mean, we just got to get Devontae Booker the fuck out of here, Vance Joseph. What are we doing? The game is on the line. Crunch time. We're going to have the clear downgrade, the clear worst of our 3 running backs in Devontae Booker on the field. He's not even that good of a fucking pass blocker, so you can't even come at me with that. So there's no reason that Royce Freeman going against the Jets will give him the 8th most points in this game script. I think the Broncos can get out to a lead against the Jets out there and just run it down their throats. There's no reason. I think if they would have run it down the Chiefs' throats 40 times, 20 to Freeman, 20 to Lindsey, I think they would have won that game handily. But for some reason, they just kept letting Case Keenum huck it and chuck it out there. I have no fucking thing. I have no idea what's going on. All right. We got another star. We got Joe Mixon. If Joe Mixon comes back this week, got a sexy deluxe matchup at home versus the Dolphins. We're going to have the fourth most yards, 2 running backs. Gio Bernard has made his way on the injury report now. Matt Waldman, he's already injured. So if Gio Bernard somehow doesn't suit up and Joe Mixon does, we are looking at a very, very sexy deluxe week coming at you for some Joe Mixon owners. All right, we got some running back sits. We're talking about sitting Ajay. Vikings are giving the second fewest touchdowns to running backs, and you got to think a guy like Ajay is super touchdown dependent out there. It's almost touchdown or bust for a back in RB2 like Ajay. So I think the Vikings give the second fewest touchdowns to running backs. I think Ajay is a solid sit this week. I got some Chris Carson. It's not looking that good for Chris Carson to suit up. I know Pete Carroll's always blowing smoke up your fucking ass talking about everybody's fucking fine. Well, everybody's not fucking fine, Pete. And Chris Carson didn't practice on Wednesday. I don't know. I haven't got the news on the Thursday practice yet. But the Rams are 6th in yards and 5th most points. And you know the game script's just going to make the Seahawks play catch-up all fucking game long. So I don't think there's going to be very many rushing opportunities for the Seahawks anyway. So go ahead and bench Chris Carson. Even if he does suit up, I got Dalvin Cook as a sit. He said himself he's not 100%. And the Eagles defense give him the second fewest yards and the second fewest touchdowns. And I mean, 2 running backs. So I think all in on the Dalvin Cook. Wait and see this week versus the Eagles. All right, I know we got another sit in Carlos Hyde. I know he's been getting it absolutely sexy for you, but maybe not sit Carlos Hyde. Maybe downgrade him from RB2 down to that flex spot out there because he's going against the Ravens D, who has been very stingy. 2 running backs thus far only give like 9 points to James Conner on Sunday Night Football this past week. So I don't know. I'm thinking about benching the Carlos Hyde. Ravens are giving him the 3rd fewest yards and the 2nd fewest touchdowns, which equals the 3rd fewest points to opposing running backs out there. So all in on the sit of Carlos Hyde. I mean, no, take that back. Not all in on the sit. I'm just saying downgrade Carlos Hyde from the RB2 to the flex. I'm getting carried away out there. Getting a little carried away. Talked about it earlier. Saints are very tough against the run, up the middle, giving up the 4th fewest yards to opposing running backs are the Saints. So I know Adrian Peterson was like the 7th PPR back through the first 3 weeks before he went into his bye, but just a little temper expectations. I'm not necessarily saying bench Adrian Peterson either, but just kind of temper expectations out there versus the Saints. Could get game scripted out if the Saints do somehow hop out to an early lead. All right, we got some wide receiver starts. Lead off with some Emmanuel Sanders. The Jets give him the 5th most yards, which equals 195 yards a game to opposing wide receivers. I think Demaryius fucking Thomas' career is toast. He fucking sucks a bag of cocks out there. He's averaging like 6.5 yards a catch or something absolutely pill-puke garbage this season. I think all in on the sit for Demaryius Thomas moving forward, even in a matchup like this. But I think Emmanuel Sanders is the type of guy who you got to get in there. I think Cortland Sutton, before long, I think the Broncos, and Vance Joseph doesn't really know what the fuck's going on out there, but I think the Broncos have to come to terms with Cortland Sutton, maybe a better player in the future and now over Demaryius Thomas, and get him in there sooner rather than later. Come on, Broncos. Let's get it together. All right, we got another set. This guy from the depths of the sea hasn't really done much for you besides like that 14-point week. He sneaked his ass in the end zone, but I'm feeling it this week. Got the Jameson Crowder here on the starts, playing the Saints. We're getting up the most yards and touchdowns to opposing wide receivers, and that equals 247 yards a game to opposing wide receivers. So I think a guy like Jameson Crowder, and you can just load him up for this game. Ryan Grant, Doyle's out, T.Y.'s out. I think the game script's going to force Andrew Luck to huck it, chuck it, like I said before. I think all in on the Ryan Grant flex play this week. Baldwin and Lockett. The Rams are giving it up through the air. Teams are having to play catch-up all the time out there. You just saw how all the Vikings pass receivers were just eaten last Thursday against the Rams. I think this is a good situation. The secondary is banged up as well for the Rams, so I think this is a good situation to rev up some Doug Baldwin and even throw in some Tyler Lockett out there. Amari Cooper, Chargers giving up the 3rd most touchdowns and the 2nd most points to opposing wide receivers, but this might be a trap because Casey Hayward is probably looking to shadow Amari Cooper around, and Amari Cooper is just coming off his best game of the season, so you know what that means. He's just going to go out there and shit all over your chest for like a 5-6 PPR burger, and you're just going to regret. So I don't even know. I think this tells you to start him, but I'm leaning more toward the sit. I mean, if you can get him in there in your flex, you don't really have any other more choices to get him in there in like your 1st or 2nd flex. I understand. I have him in one of my flexes in a league. I got to do it. But I'm just a little bit scared. I think this is a trap. I think Casey Hayward follows him around. I just don't know if Amari Cooper is the type of guy who could overcome a top shelf corner in the NFL following him around the football field. Kenny Stills seems like every other week Kenny Stills can get in the end zone for you. The Bengals are also giving up the 4th most yards to wide receivers. So I think this is a decent flex play for the Kenny Stills. Taiwan Taylor didn't get in the end zone for you last week. Had him in the waiver wire. Started him in a league even last week. Got the 9 targets, 7 receptions for the 77 yards. Not necessarily a coming out party, but a pretty good day. I think he is moving into that wide receiver 3 conversation moving forward, and he is playing the Bills, so I can just see this guy with top end speed just busting off a 60 or 70 yarder against the Bills this week. So I am all in on the Taiwan Taylor as well. Some wide receiver sits. We got D-Train, like I talked about earlier. I think he's a bag of cocks out there. I think his career is over. I think his skill set is just diminished to the point where he ain't doing much past 5-8 yards downfield. I am just all in on the sit of the D-Train. Funches, the Giants are playing the second. The Giants are giving the second fewest touchdowns and the 4th fewest points to opposing wide receivers. So if you got any other options, I would probably lean away, shy against some Devin Funches out there. Callaway, I mean, he's getting the targets, but he hasn't really doing much with them. Hugh Jackson saying we need to cut back on his snaps. That's never a fucking good thing. So I'm thinking bench Antonio Callaway until further notice. He'll probably go out there and rip off a 50-yard touchdown just to make me seem like a fucking dick bum out there, but I just don't know. The confidence is just not there right now with Antonio Callaway. I think I would sit him till further notice. Got some Goodwin, some Marquise Goodwin, some Pierre Garçon. The Cardinals, surprisingly, have not given up a passing touchdown to opposing wide receivers thus far with C.J. Beathard at the helm. Looks like he's favoring George Kittle over the wide receiver core, so I'm going to go ahead and sit the 49er wide receivers this week. All right, we got some tight end starts and some Ricky Seals-Jones, baby. If you are desperate, if you need a prayer, I know I said I'd never talk about this ass chop bum again, but he is playing the Niners, who are giving the most touchdowns to tight ends. So if you are just desperation play, touchdown or bust action, I think Ricky Seals-Jones just might be your boy. Another guy, we got Jeff Swaim versus the Texans, giving the 5th most points to tight ends. So another desperation play out there. If you are in need, I'm running out the likes of Jeff Swaim in a league. I'm not very fucking excited about it, but I got some buys out there, and you gotta do what you gotta do, and sometimes that equals Jeff Swaim. Jeff with a G, baby. All right. What do we got? We got some other start at tight end. Got some ASJ. The Chiefs are giving the 3rd most points to tight ends. He might find his ass in the end zone, so, all right, play on the ASJ. Eric Ebron might be able to get a chance to eat. Jack Doyle once again out. T.Y. Hilton out. I mean, who knows? This fucking ass bum could become the #1 target for luck on Thursday Night Football. So all in Eric Ebron this week. I think he can easily get you, like, I don't know. I think if anybody's going to find their way into the top 5 tight end production of Week 5, I think it's a bum like Eric Ebron, baby. All right, we got one sit at tight end. Njoku, the Ravens have not given up a touchdown to tight ends yet, and they're giving the fewest points to tight ends as well. So all in on the Njoku sit. Got some quarterbacks. Bortles versus the Chiefs, give them the 2nd most yards. Get yourself some Bortles in there. Probably more of a DFS play. You probably aren't looking to trust Bortles in your season-long leagues, but if you need a cheap play in your DraftKings or your FanDuel, I would go with the Bortles. Alex Smith as well. Saints giving up the 4th most touchdowns and yards to quarterbacks, so Alex Smith is also a decent play this week. This isn't necessarily a sit, just kind of letting you know, maybe not expect the greatest of days from Cam Newton, but who knows? He's coming off a bye. He might still go out there and get it sexy for you. I'm not recommending benching Cam Newton whatsoever, but the Giants are giving up 3rd fewest touchdowns to quarterbacks. You saw what they did to Drew Brees last week. Drew Brees did not find his way into the end zone through the air or on the ground. So you got to start Cam Newton. You just have to. But just letting you know, it might not get that ultimate sexy for you. All right, you like the cut of my jib? Give me a subscribe, give me a share, hit me up with some comments, any stardom, situm questions. Don't be afraid to ask. I will get back at you, baby. Hit me with those likes. Just get there and smash the shit out of that like button, baby. Help the channel go over. Help the views come into the Tankers Nation and get this channel rolling, baby. Thanks for viewing. I will see you later. Cheeseburger.